And I'm trying to get an idea, you know, are we talking $10,000?
For what kind of harvest are you talking?
Just, you know,
I mean, if you're talking the whole property and doing a selective type of thing where you're just taking out, you know, the mature timber, yeah, you're probably talking around 10 grand. You know, when you're talking about clearing areas, obviously you're adding a lot more trees than what you would typically do in a selective harvest. So if you added this clearing in the driveway and the whole property, obviously it'd probably be more. You know, if we're just talking clearing out this driveway and just this building site, then, you know, you're probably like closer to 5, something like that.
mm-hmm.
You know, depending on the size of the project you're doing and how big your clearing site ends up being. So, you know, this timber that's on here is not your high value stuff, but there's value to any of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I guess the value would be, I mean, there's value in all these trees, so it's better than, I guess, in my opinion, if you're gonna build a house anyways, to cut it down and burn it or whatever you do with it, I guess, or bury it. Better to get money out of it, I would assume.
Oh, definitely. And that's where, you know, I mean, if I need to do 2/3 of the property, or, you know, selectively do the whole property, that's what I'd rather do, because we want to thin it out.
I mean, there can be a lot of money in logging. I mean, you know, especially get into like walnut or something like that. I mean, you can go sell 20 trees and make 20, 30 grand. I mean,
but I might not have that that breed of tree here on
most of
my
it
site.
looks like, and it could change over the next hill, but it looks like most of this is black oak, which the good and bad about that is the markets are generally there and they're the same. But,
steady.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you're doing the whole property, quarter of the property, just depends what size sale you do, how many trees you do. Because with, you know, with black oak, it's just a matter of really the footage that comes out of it, as opposed to. So it really comes down to how many trees you sell. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm on the side of, I want to thin it out. I want to take what we definitely need for the driveway, the building site, and thin it out going back, let it grow, let there be some habitat. So anything that's merchantable, I would say let's put it out for bid.
And we could almost, you know, obviously this is up to you guys what you want to do, but you could almost mark out the driveway, mark out this building site, see how much timber is here, and see where we're sitting at, and then see what we have to add. Because if you could do that, and then, like I said, you could go through that plan and get the invasives taken care of, and then do the timber sale kind of on the rest of it. Might be a good option too.
Yeah.
Because you know, it depends on how much income you need and all that good stuff. But if you can just do the project you need, because in all those areas you're clearing out the invasives, doesn't matter. But it'd be really nice to get some of this stuff controlled before you.
Yeah. Well, depends on what house we're going to build. We may be moving dirt and, you know, either covering it up. You know, if she wants to try to do a walkout, we might need to be in a different spot where there's we can push dirt up and have a walkout toward the east.
I mean, the good news is it's all sand,
so we'll have to see.
But yeah, in general, there's always money in logging. It's just a matter of, you know, everybody's version of logging and what it's worth, and if it's worth it is different. You know, I look at it a lot of times from the forest management perspective. Yeah, there may not be a lot of value in some things, but it's better to get it out, thin it out, let other things grow. Kind of like a weeding the garden type of thing. You know, sometimes you're doing timber sales for money, sometimes you're doing it just to help the woods out. So
I'd rather have a thin woods that's kind of managed than have an overgrowth or have bare. You know, I want to keep some, I want to let some grow up. You know, this is another maple. Is that a?
Yep, that's,
you know, so something like that, I wouldn't mind.
And it's one of those things too, obviously. Well, yeah, I don't know. I love trees, but when it comes to my house and everything else, I don't really need them. But you know, it's one of those things too, when you finally decide where you want your house, there's certain trees that maybe you want to leave one in the yard or something. You know, and red maple would be a good one. I mean, these oak.
Nice shade trees.
Yeah.
You know, 20 years down the road, maybe, you know, it'll be something the kids can climb in, the grandkids
yeah, like
or.
a maple like this. It's really good. It's really healthy. You know, if that ends up being out in your front yard somewhere and it's just sitting there, I wouldn't leave any of the sassafras.
No.
You know, oak, it's more of the oak leaves you have to deal with, but, you know, leaving a nice healthy oak, you know, instead of completely clearing it. So you might want to
Yeah.
identify.
So if the house was, you know, a couple 100 feet to the east and we let this grow, that'd be a nice shade tree somewhere down the road.
So there's that maple there. There's another really healthy one. You know, that lighter barked one over there.
Mm-hmm.
Sassafras, like I said, wouldn't leave. Cherry, I would not leave any cherry. That stuff blows over easy. It's
Yeah.
really not that healthy. You know, like that little oak there. Like if your house is way over there,
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna take,
Long.
and it's leaning that way anyways. So a nice healthy oak, maybe you leave that instead.
Yep. Are the loggers gonna run it over?
You know, that's
You know, they're gonna drop a tree on it.
so
You never know.
that one should be fine. You know, if this maple is sitting in the middle of like all of those oak over there that might come out,
Yeah.
yeah, the chances are it's not going to survive.
Yep.
But something out here, and if you, like I said, I would flag off the area you want as a home site. And if there's a tree that you definitely would like, you know, this would be a good one we want to try and save for the yard, put some flagging tape on it or something. When the loggers show up, just say, hey, just FYI, as you're driving
Yeah.
through, don't.
Yeah.
Because if they know they're clearing an area, they're not going to, you know, generally they don't just try and drive over things.
Yeah.
But if they know that it's a clearing, then they're not going to be as careful as,
Yep.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know which way to point you that there's really.
No, we'll just do a loop. I mean, if you got time, might as well walk the property.
All right.
See what you got and go from there.
Yeah.